I hope I hope I got that on camera. Welcome back to another episode of the not D of the Marco's 33 minutes. What episode 2, 3? No, episode 3 of Marco's 33 minutes. Uh, Shit. Hold on. God damn it, my hat would be crooked as a motherfucker, bro. Damn. Been a busy week for me, man. I got some news for y'all. I got some news for y'all to talk about. We're gonna go over obviously college basketball is finishing up, so we are going to go over that as well. We're gonna go over the MAC conference, look at their standings, see how that's finishing out. Um, so we're gonna go over the ASUN because that's actually going on right now. The the ASUN conference tournament is going on right now. I think they should be towards the end of the bracket. I haven't been up on it. I know they started last. What was that? Last Sunday, I believe they started when we did the yeah, last weekend when we were doing the D&B episode podcast. So we were doing that pod, and I remember we were talking about that game. Probably go over some games of the week, go over some of those games maybe. If I feel like getting into that. But first thing I'm gonna start off. I am going back to school. I'm going back to college again. I'm transferring from Akron. Took some time off. I've transferred out of Akron, going to Hawken College. It's a junior college, just 2 year program. Just get my degree and do what I want to do with my life. And so I'm doing that. I went there yesterday for quick start, what they call it. Just like to get your classes, scheduled and everything like that. But obviously, I want to be part of football still. I want to be part of the game as much as possible. So yeah, I love football. Played it for 12 years. Worked at Akron. Was a student equipment manager there for 2 years. I was the head student EQ manager there my second year. So I met with the softball coach that was running his table. They had like tables spread out of like different like stations yesterday. So uh the softball coach was there. Obviously he's in connections with like all the other coaches. So he calls the receiver coach because the receiver coach there is also the equipment manager. So um that's who I'll be working with. So he calls him and I forget he was somewhere in the building or something. But then Coach Moore, the head coach, he comes in. Craig Moore, not Joe Moorhead. Coach Moore from Hawking. He came in after I got my stuff like pretty much done. I ended up talking to Coach Moore and basically gave him the rundown of what I did at Akron and how my second year I was really hands on with the quarterbacks. I worked alongside with Billy Fessler, Coach Fess, who's at Ohio State right now. Worked alongside him. Worked with a lot of the quarterbacks. I told him I would do indie drills. Not indie drills, like individual workouts with like say DJ Irons when I told them about that like when he was rehabbing. I would help like basically me and him would just do like individual throwing and get his shoulder, I should say, back to normal. So I did that. So I told him all about that and everything and how I traveled and set up for like for practices and for games and set up halftime. So I'm gonna be helping out with the I'll be an equipment manager. So I'll be with the receiver coach, who's the equipment manager. I'll be with him on the equipment side of things, doing the equipment management side of things again, like I did at Akron. And then the head coach also told me I'll be working with the quarterbacks. He's gonna put me with the quarterbacks. So I'll be coaching with the quarterbacks and being an equipment manager with the receiver coach. So that's what I'm doing. That's what's going on this fall. I will be going down there for fall camp. Going down there early this summer to move in. and all that stuff and get fall camp going. But don't mean the pod ain't going nowhere. The D&B show ain't going nowhere. So, and my little segment, Marco's 33 minutes, ain't going nowhere either. So we're gonna keep that going, keep it pushing. And actually, I feel like it's gonna be better, in my opinion. I could, bring on my guys, interview them, talk with them, um, talk about the season, if anything, if I wanted to. I do want to bring on. I'm working on getting people to come in and do a little interview and just talk with them, bullshit with them on this segment, and especially on the D&B show. So if you want to be part of the interviews, especially if you're in the Canton area, hit me, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram, our Instagrams are in the bios of our YouTube channel and also in every video. So make sure you guys follow us, especially follow the IG, the D underscore D&B show on Instagram. It's again underscore the D&B show on Instagram. That is that is our Instagram for the podcast. But yeah, so that's what happened yesterday. I went down to Hawken, 2 hours, some fucking drive. Long as shit, I'll tell you that much. Long fucking drive. But I'm excited though. The coaching staff, they seem great. They seem fun. It seems like everybody gets along well with each other. Um, there was a couple guys there that knew me. One guy knew me from the 7-on-7s that we did, that we would do at Akron with like high school teams. He coached for, what say, Akron East recently, so he recognized me from that. Um, then there's another coach there. I met yesterday. He is from my alma mater high school, Glen Oak. Well, he didn't graduate from Glen Oak, but he's from the Canton area. Went to Glen Oak, he said. He went to Perry, then he not transferred. He went to Kent State for college. I was like, hey, bro, we ain't, we, leave me alone. But all in all, I'm excited. I'm excited to get down there for fall camp and ready for the season, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Let's get right into basketball, shall we? My Zips are rolling, undefeated at home. We took down Kent State last weekend at home. Yeah, that was a huge win. I ain't gonna lie. We tried to stream it, but it didn't work. Me and B, we tried to fucking stream the damn game. We were streaming it, and then we tried. I go to like edit the fucking shit, and the damn uh game didn't save on the stream, like on the recording. So, but anyways, great game. All in all, hell of a game. You know, it was worrying me at first. Kent State, I thought they were gonna just keep killing us inside, to be honest, because they were exposing us down low heavily. They were bully balling us down low early and fast, and they were aggressive. And I'm like, fuck. If we can't fix this, they're just gonna keep going at it, and we're gonna be fucked. And we're gonna get exposed in the tournament. But our thing is with Akron, we just can't start slow. We can't afford to keep starting slow every game, especially if we want to make a deep run in the MAC tournament, and especially if we want to win a game in the March Madness tournament. We can't afford to start off slow. Especially we're a good team. Okay, we're a really good team, and we can't allow people just to play around with us like that. We got to start off fast. We got to be aggressive, And but I mean, MAC regular season champs. I'm happy, man. It was BK is different, bro. BK, yo, Mac. Speaking of the Mac, God damn it, bro. I swear to God. Speaking of the computer. All right, Mac standing. Let me make sure my is right over here. Obviously, y'all can see the Mac standings there. Akron leading the way towards the end of the season here. Akron 16-1, 24-6. It's the best we've been since 2020, the 2019-2020 season, where I was told people believe that we could have made a Sweet 16 run. I feel like for us, we got to get the right side of the bracket. We just got to get the right side, the right team. But Miami, 13-4, 22-8. They're looking really good this year. They're 14-1 at home. On the road, they struggle though. They're 6-7 on the road. Akron is 8-4. It's the best we've looked on the road in a while. In past years when we were good, we were struggling on the road. I mean struggling. Canton OU tied for was it third in the MAC at 10-7. Everybody is clinched. I believe for the tournament. Akron, yeah, I believe everybody has clinched the tournament. All the way down from Akron to Western. I believe everybody is clinched. I know when we dropped our video, we had Ball State. Um, where's my paper? We had Ball State. Ball State was in there at 6, I believe. Ball State was in at 6. When we dropped our D&B episode, when we were dropping our predictions about the conference bracket. So obviously it would change. Ball State is now out of the MAC tournament bracket, and taking their spot is Eastern. Yeah, Eastern. So it'll be Kent versus Eastern, Akron versus Western, Miami and Buffalo and Bowling. Eastern went to 6. They moved up 1. So Miami and Bowling Green. OU at 4. OU went to 4 now. Toledo goes to 5. And then Akron and Western, obviously. So that's gonna be this MAC tournament is gonna be a fun one. There could be some upsets. You know, with Eastern going to 6, that could give Kent some trouble there. That's a really, that's not as an easier matchup for them for Kent as it was before when Ball State was at 6. So that I'd say still I would pick Kent to beat Eastern, but I don't like I said I don't see them steamrolling Eastern like I figured they would against Ball State if Ball State was in that matchup against them. But OU Toledo big flip, that's whatever. I still got OU with it. That don't change my mind. With OU being a 4 seed and Toledo being 5 now, that doesn't change my mind at all. I'm still confident in OU. I think they still look really good, regardless of them both having a 16-4 record. But Toledo right there has lost 4 in a row. Akron beat them the other day in Toledo, spanked them. So Toledo don't look good. Toledo isn't really good at all this year. They're not very good. When they in past years like they used to be, because Toledo, past years it was always Akron, Kent, Toledo, OU. Sometimes Toledo was at number 1. A lot of the times Toledo was at 1 seed. You know what I mean? And they still couldn't get it done. And I wrote here in my notes. My pointers for Toledo is can the Rockets finally get to the top and punch their ticket to their to the big dance, because they haven't. That's been the word. Toledo's always been good. They've always dominated the regular season, and then they get to MAC tournament and they don't perform well, and they get bounced in the first and second round. So, but Miami and BG, that 2-7 game, I got Miami now instead of, because at first I had Miami Eastern because it was Miami Eastern at 7. It's 7. It was 7. Eastern was at 7. Miami was at 2. Eastern goes to 6. BG goes to 7. So I got Miami beating BG. But you could still, and I wouldn't be mad at you if you think BG could beat Miami. They pull an upset. BG's rolling. They've won 4 straight recently. They're 8-7 at home. Miami's only on a 1-game win streak, but I do think Miami's that team that could struggle in this tournament. That's another game I see being close, in my opinion, is that Miami and BG game. Because Miami, yeah, they might be, the second best team in the MAC, but they don't look a dominant second seed. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like you could, I'm saying like. So I mean, Miami can win? Miami can win this game, no question, right? But I'm not saying they're gonna dominate. But who knows? They could. But Miami this year, they're not as dominated as they were, say, last year. They were dominated last year, but I mean, they're good this year. but they're not going to steamroll. They're not going to steamroll their way through this MAC tournament. Because now I got them facing Kent in the final four of the MAC tournament this coming not this weekend. What is it, next weekend? Yeah, next weekend. So next weekend obviously is the MAC tournament, the 13th through the 15th. My final four for the MAC tournament is now the Akron Zips versus Ohio, Bobcats 1 versus 4. And I got the 2 seed Miami, Ohio versus the 3 seed Kent State. So now does my championship game prediction change? Does it change? Because at first I had Kent beating Eastern, and then I had Akron going to the championship game against Kent, and then Akron winning. Does my champion now? Does the team I have playing Akron in the Final Four, does that change in my eye? After watching Kent, what they were able to do to us early, that was scary. I ain't gonna lie. They look dominated. They look dominated. They look dominant. They look like they could keep that going. Kent State. About one thing about them though, they've been here in this tournament. They've been, top 3 seed and been able to get to the championship, every year since 22. So, even though this maybe Miami's year, to get to the championship, they're 2 seed. They think they're feeling hot. They think they could make a dent in this tournament and face, Akron in the championship. I still got Kent going to the championship to play Akron, even though with Miami being playing Bowling Green now instead of Eastern. So, because Eastern is a lock at the 6 seed. They punched their ticket the other night, over the weekend, I believe. But yeah, no, they're a lock at that 6. Everybody's a lock that's in the tournament. Everybody's a lock to be in the tournament 1 through 6. Um, and I would say Bowling and Western's a lock as well to be in this tournament. So this could be your MAC tournament. Run through it again for the first round. Akron versus Western. That's 1 versus 8. The 4 seed Bobcats will play the 5 seed Rockets. Then on the other side of the bracket, you'll have the 2 seed Miami Ohio Redhawks will play the 8 seed Bowling Green Falcons, and then the 6 seed Eastern Michigan Eagles will play the 3rd seed Kent State. The 3rd seed Kent State. So I put it in my notes. It could change as of today. Could change. So yeah, it definitely has changed. As you can see. But nothing in my eyes. I don't see nobody fucking with Akron. I don't. I don't see it happening. Games really. I watched that OU game. We didn't look. we didn't look amazing. We didn't look the best at OU game. But now we're running on a 3-game win streak. You know, beat Ball State by 5 there. Then we beat Kent by 5. And then we do our thing against Toledo. Now we about to end the season off with a very, very bad Buffalo team. I feel like I don't say we rest the starters for this game, but I do see Gross pulling the starters early in this game. But I feel like it's going to get out of hand relatively quickly. In my opinion, being senior night, I feel like Evan gets in. The legend, the white man himself, Evan, number 20. I feel like he gets in and gets a couple threes going in that game tomorrow night against Buffalo. But yeah, no, I got the Zips winning tomorrow night, finishing out on a 4-game win streak going into the MAC tournament. But yeah, no, let's look at who got Kent should win this one. Again, Kent should win. But they're coming off of a 1-point win against Western though, which that's a bad win to be honest. Western they're 20-10. No, they're not 20-10. But Western they're 8-9 in the conference though. You know, they're the 8 seed, and you only beat a team. You only beat them by one, coming off of a rival loss against Akron. So, but Kent's been putting up points though against Ohio, 75. I mean, they put up 76. Bowling Green, they put up 91. Against Miami, they put up 92. Against Toledo, 105. 105. Akron, 72. Western, 77. So Kent can put up points. Is what I'm saying. For this tournament is that's what's scary about Kent. Even though Kent may be bad this year, in their eyes, in my eyes, they're bad. With them being the 3 seed, but they can get hot and they can score fast and quick and a lot of points. So that's why I feel like they're gonna get their way to the championship in the MAC. You know, last time they played Toledo right there, January 28th, they lost by 3. So I'm gonna say easy, but it's at Toledo. I mean, it's a hard place to play, but with the way Toledo is right now, I mean, shit, the ticket sales are fucking starting at $4. So that tells you a lot about Toledo basketball right now. I mean, they exposed y'all right there, $4, $4 a ticket. It means your ass. Okay, that's what that means. All right, that's what that means. But OU, they're showing that they've been able to score and they've been able to score points and been able to crack the 80 margin a bunch of times. Bowling Green, they put up 86. Central Michigan, they put up 84. Well, Akron, they put up 84. Against Eastern the other night, they put up 79. So they're able to score as well, but that defense they gotta be able to not give up as much. Like you gave up 82 against Central. That's a bad win. You know, Central's not very very good this year at all. Hell, they're not even in the bracket for this year's conference tournament. So that's a bad win. You lose to Western. That's a bad loss. Western's not very good this year. You beat your rival at home. That's a great win. You know, right there. I mean, if you could play like that right there against how you played against Akron and Miami, OU could be a threat. Okay, they could be a threat right now. I think, in my opinion, they're the biggest threat to Akron in this tournament. Look what they did to us. Look what they did to us. And they're the only team that's done that in the tournament. I mean, in this conference. They're the only conference loss we have, and it's against OU, and they put up 84 points, and they made us look like dog shit again in that game. You watch it, you know what I'm talking about. And OU looked like a top 2 team with the back where they were playing us. If they could play like that, the way they played against us, and play the way they did against Miami, shit. Don't be surprised they give us a run for our money. Just saying. I'm not saying that we don't. I'm not saying we lose that game. I'm just saying I feel like OU is going to make that game go all the way down to the final buzzer, in my opinion. Because they beat the shit out of us on the 22nd of February. So, but I do think we run through that side of the bracket, but it's not going to be easy when we face OU. I think we steamroll Toledo if we've played Toledo. But I don't see them beating OU again. Like they gotta play Toledo's gotta play OU. Who the fuck is calling dumbass scams? But they gotta play OU tomorrow at home. I don't see Toledo beating OU twice. I see these two teams splitting. But regardless of what happens tomorrow between these two teams, I got OU winning big time against Toledo. But yeah, I think OU is a bigger threat to Akron than anybody in this tournament, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. Y'all can say what you want in the comments. I know that's a hard take. That's a hard take. But look what they did to us. Like I'm gonna point that out. Look what they did to us at home. At home, whiteout. It was a whiteout, and they did not. We shot like what, like 8 for like 30 from 3. Like we were awful. Like we couldn't shoot that game. Literally, we couldn't do anything that game. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for this MAC tournament though. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be lit. But yeah, no, I'm gonna stand on. I stand on that. OU's the biggest threat to Akron in this tournament. Mm. That's gonna be all. I spent too much time rambling about the MAC conference. Sorry, I like the MAC conference way too much. All right. It's a fun conference. After being in it for 2 years and watching basketball, it's a fun basketball conference. If you ain't into college basketball, Group of Five basketball is fun. It's a, you that's one way to really enjoy basketball is just watching Group of Five. Watching MAC basketball. But tune in next weekend for the MAC tournament at the Rocket Arena, 13th through the 15th. The Zips play tomorrow. I believe 7 p.m. against Buffalo. Senior night, pack the jar. Go Zips. And that'll be it for another episode of Marcus 33 Minutes. Instagram bio, Instagrams to my Instagram, to B's Instagram, to the D&B channel, to the D&B podcast. D&B Show Instagram is going to be in the descriptions below. Subscribe to the D&B Show podcast. And we out.